Welcome back. It's now 5:42. New this morning, some educators in Memphis now speaking out after their school unexpectedly closed. Now, you may remember just 3 weeks after the first day of school, the Individualized Intellect Institute, or I3, shut its doors. This new tuition-free private school in South Memphis had so much promise, but now it's leaving teachers and students in a bind.
My life feels over because I can't seem to dig myself out of this hole.
This teacher says days have been grim after suddenly losing their job at Individualized Intellect Institute.
I can't pay my rent. I can't get my car out of the shop.
Former I3 teachers have asked that we protect their identities out of fear of retaliation. They tell me everything at I3 started off well.
I was excited about the idea. I thought it was great.
That soon changed.
The first payroll was set for July 15th. And when that didn't come, there was supposedly an error in the funding.
The teachers say it kept happening.
Then around August 15th, we get a check, one check for the July payroll, and then one check for the first half of August. But those bounced.
Weeks of unpaid work.
I owed $13,000 gross for 2 months of work.
Nearly $8,000.
Even though the school was tuition free, they were supposed to charge tuition for their online students. But no students signed up for that option. When we talked to Dr. Michael Miles, the CEO of I3 in September, he admitted to challenges in funding.
It's a bumpy process. It is a startup.
I reached out to the State Department of Education to see if there were any processes in place to regulate schools like I3. The school falls into a category that allows it to be open without accreditation, but it also means the state doesn't regulate finances for these schools. The DOE did confirm I3 was not eligible for state funding as part of that category. They also said any payment for staff would not be handled by the DOE since it was a private school. Unwelcomed news for the unpaid teacher.
I think accountability needs to happen. Audits need to happen, especially within the first year, and certain benchmarks for audits need to be met.
Several former employees shared emails from Dr. Miles outlining possible funding sources. This email shows lots of pledged donations, even him saying he's applied for grants, but no money actually locked down.
As time progressed, he started seemingly hiding from us, and the lies became more elaborate.
In that same email, Dr. Miles mentioned a more than $200,000 grant from the Shelby County Commission. But when I checked, the Commission Education Chairman told me they only awarded I3 $5,000, and it was never distributed.
Because I want us to excel. I do.
Now teachers fear this experience may taint an education system where they say more options are needed.
My biggest concern is that a lot of people in the education sector were duped, and I think now people are shy of a new school opening up.
It was a great dream.
Oh, and I reached out to Dr. Miles. He told me he did not have a comment on any of this. Last month, though, the State Department of Education did confirm that I3 submitted the paperwork to close. So teachers finally got the letters they needed to file for unemployment nearly 6 weeks after they lost their jobs. As for the students, I'm sure you're wondering, I'm told most of them were able to transfer to other schools, but of course it disrupted their learning because it was in the middle of the school year. Also, some of them couldn't get back into the charter schools they left. Trevor.